Hello YouTube. Today I'd like to do a review of my Alienware M15x laptop. Let's go over the specs. It has an Intel Core i3 clocked at 2.13 GHz, 4 gigs of RAM, a 128 GB SSD, and a dedicated Nvidia GT 240M 1 gig graphics card. The screen is 1600 by 900. It's HD. It's not 1080p HD, but it's still very nice. Can't complain. Looks beautiful when you play games, when you watch movies, and I'm very happy with the display. Let's go over the pros and the cons. I'll begin with the pros. One is the design. The design is like no other laptop that I've used or seen in real life. It is gorgeous. Looking from the side, with the lid down, it looks like a alien ship. I don't know. It looks really cool. It has a nice stealth design, and I know this is outdated. They made a new body style, but I have to say I like this one better. I think the two grills looks nicer than just a light going all around. That's just me. The grills is also where the speakers are, and of course you can customize every color. Everything that lights up, you can customize it except for the power cord right there. You can't change light, but everything else is customizable, including the Alienware logo on the back. Excuse me, I can't open it with one hand. It's pretty heavy. Well, not heavy, but it's pretty hard to get open with one hand. So, of course, the design, the Alienware FX, I really like that. And it's only one color, because I just like to keep it simple. I think just one solid color looks a lot nicer than having everything different colors. I just like to keep it simplistic. Of course, having a dedicated graphics card is really good for a laptop. It blows my Lenovo T410 integrated graphics out of the water. Now, it's not as good as I'd like it to be, but it does the job. I'm able to play pretty much every game on my Steam library on medium settings. All the 3D intensive games, I suppose. I can't play Far Cry 3 because it doesn't support DirectX 11, which I think is the biggest hindrance of the GT 240M. Now, 1 GB of memory is pretty good. It's pretty decent, but it's just the power of the GPU that's what sets it back. And you know, that's one disappointment thing. That's one thing that I regret kind of about getting rid of my desktop PC that I built 1 year ago. That was pretty good. I was able to play everything I threw at it on very high settings, and that's one thing that I miss. But I'm going to England as an exchange student for 3 months, and I wanted something to be able to play some games on whenever I get the chance. I'm sure I'll be very busy, but if I ever feel like playing a Dota match, you know, it's right there. I can boot it up and play it. So in that regard, I do like it, and I think I'm going to have this laptop for quite some time, about a year, a year and a half, whenever I get enough money to build a new desktop. So those are pretty much the pros. Let's get to the cons. The storage space is one of the cons. 128 gigs is not a lot of room. Now, of course, you can put whatever you want in it. If you want 500 gigs, if you want a terabyte, you can customize it. But for this particular one, that's definitely a con for me. But I got by that with an external hard drive. It's 1 terabyte, Western Digital, my passport. Very good. Put all my Steam games on it, run perfectly. The load times are a bit longer. And of course they wouldn't be if this laptop had a 3.0 port, but it does not. But 2.0 gets me by just fine. it only has two USB ports. One on the left side there that my Megalodon's hooked up to, and one on the right where my Death Adder's hooked up. Really good mouse, by the way. Probably wondering, well, where's the external hard drive hooked up to? And the Xbox 360 controller. Well, I invested in getting this chill mat. It's a Targus chill mat. Bought it for $22 at Best Buy. Great investment. It has USB four USB ports on the back. It's a USB hub. Keeps the laptop cool. It's running very quiet now. Because of that, because the laptop fans are not on, it does the job very well. When I put my hand underneath it, sometimes to just see if it's working, it keeps it really nice and cool. It's not hot. You know, sometimes when you're using it on your lap or something, it can get really hot. It can burn you. But this keeps it ice cool. Now, if you're interested in buying one, I'd like to show you the box. I keep the box. There is the My Passport Western Digital external hard drive, 1 terabyte, very good. And here is the box here for the Targus chill mat with 4 USB ports, USB hub. It's also adjustable there. If you're sitting in your bed, you can adjust it so you don't get a crick in your neck. I haven't used that feature yet, but I'm sure I will one day. I'm sure it'll be very, very useful. Another con that I have is the trackpad. I'm not sure if it's a defect on this model, but I have done some research on, and I read on Reddit of other people having problems with the trackpad, saying it's not that good, and it isn't. It's practically unusable. It feels like the mouse is lagging when you use it. It's not very precise in that regard. I like the clicking buttons here. You know, that works fine, but the trackpad itself isn't that good. It's a shame, you know. It's one thing I think that's very important is the trackpad, but you know, you can use a mouse and get by, and that's what I do. I have a Death Adder here and a Logitech wireless mouse, so I just use those. You know, I wish I could have it available if I ever need to use it very quickly to look something up, but you know, that's one thing, one con I suppose that you can get by. I talked about the graphics card. I'm a bit disappointed in it. I have to say, if you're interested in getting an M15x, I highly recommend you get the one with the 260M, Nvidia 260M GTX. Very good. Well, not very good. I mean, it's probably outdated, but it's a lot better than the GT 240M. Now, one cool thing is you can actually upgrade the graphics chip all the way up to a 460M, which I would probably do if I knew how to. I wouldn't want to do it and risk breaking something. So I'll stick with the GT 240M for now. The weight may be a concern for others, and it was a concern for me at first. You know, I'm going to have it on my back in this backpack here. But it wasn't that bad, honestly. I put the laptop, the chill mat, you know, everything that I have here on my desk, I put it in there and it isn't too heavy. It's fine. It didn't stress out my back, so I imagine it's not as heavy as the 17-inch model. So it's moderate in weight, I'd say. Of course, it has a HD webcam. I forgot to mention that. Right there at the top. You can't see it. I apologize for the horrible lighting in this room, but I'm trying to work with what I have here. So overall, I give this laptop a 3.5. There goes the screen, but 3.5 star out of 5. It's a great gaming laptop if you're on a budget. $330 that I paid for this one, I think, is a great deal. I know a lot of people aren't too happy with Alienware. They say they're overpriced, and I agree. But $330 on this laptop, I think, is a great deal. you could find some great deals on eBay. You just need to be patient. I've been in the market to get one for quite some time, and overall I'm very happy with it. I hope this helped you if you're interested in purchasing one, and good luck getting one for a good deal. Take care.